Hey everyone, happy Monday. I hope you all had a safe and wonderful weekend. Now with Halloween just around the corner, this first story is right on time. But first, for those of you here for the first time, welcome aboard. I'm RJSMITH, the horror novelist and Hollywood screenwriter. And this is Crazy News, a safe place where I report the craziest news stories from around the globe. Now most of you guys probably have not seen these tales in the mainstream media. So, let's go. Half Moon Bay in Northern California is a rural seaside community, and it's nestled between the majestic Santa Cruz Mountains and the Great Pacific. Just 30 miles south of San Francisco and 45 miles north of Santa Cruz, it's one of my favorite places in California, and I've been there many times. That's where a 2,749-pound pumpkin recently broke the world record at the 50th Annual World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-In. The winner, Mr. Travis Ginger, and his son claimed victory once again in the competition after growing a huge pumpkin named Michael Jordan. The family had previously won in 2022 with a 2,500-pounder named Maverick, and also in 2020 when they had a 2,300-pounder named Tiger King. Here's the story.
In the self-proclaimed pumpkin capital of the world, Volkswagen-sized pumpkins are on display.
We picked it on Friday, and it's estimating around 2,300 pounds.
Growers of all ages from across the U.S. are in Half Moon Bay, hoping to take home a world title in the Safeway World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off. They're competing for not only bragging rights, but a ginormous payout too, at $9 a pound.
It has to be a labor of love. I always said this, though. If I could not, there was no prize money involved, I never made one dime back, anything like that, I would still do it. It's so much fun. Nick
Kennedy is here competing from the Sacramento area, and for him, it's a family affair.
My son's also here today. He grew a beautiful orange pumpkin. It's very much feels like a family. You know, you see these people a couple times a year, and it just feels like a bonding experience.
Backstage on Johnson Street, community members in disbelief got to see and touch the pumpkins for themselves.
You know, this is the most exciting part, going down Johnston Street. You know, because the stage is kind of far away, so you really can't see them. But it's great to see the efforts and the farmers, talk to the farmers.
Organizers say because of the size of the pumpkin being brought in by last year's winner, Travis Ginger, all the way from Minnesota, they were required to buy a new industrial scale. The new one can hold up to 5 tons.
I said, this thing's not going to weigh on a 4x4 scale. I said, it needs something bigger. I mean, the thing's 7'5" long by 6'7", so it's pretty big. But yeah, they had to buy a new scale for it. This thing's been surprising. This thing's named Michael Jordan because it's 23 and the greatest basketball player of all time. So the only thing we got to figure out, is it the greatest pumpkin of all times?
2,749! Half Moon Bay is in the record books. That's a world record! World record!
That is unbelievable. That is one gigantic gourd right there. Travis Ginger walks away. Are you ready for this? Nearly $55,000. That includes the $30,000 prize for his world record pumpkin.
Now, for those of you who've never been to the west coast of America, Half Moon Bay is really a small, sleepy town and one of the most desirable places to live in California. The air just seems cleaner, and it's crisper. And the beauty, it's just remarkable. Now this next story is really gruesome. Can any of you imagine just minding your own business while maybe cutting the grass when a plane falls from the sky and kills you? Well, apparently a 27-year young woman in Oklahoma was riding her lawnmower on September 29th when she was struck and killed by the wing of an old 1972 Beechcraft Bonanza 836. Wow, what bad luck does a person have to have in order to be run down by a plane while cutting grass? It's just another example that life can be snatched from us at any time, day or night. Talk about freak accidents. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Have any of you ever gone to a flea market or maybe a garage sale and you saw something you thought might just be valuable? Did you buy that item and bring it home? Well, an elderly couple in France did just that and is now suing an antique dealer after he bought an old handmade African mask from the couple for $158, but then discovered it was rare and sold it for $4.4 million at auction. The 81-year-old woman and her 88-year-old husband felt cheated after seeing the bombshell story on the nightly news, and they immediately claimed the antique dealer cheated them by not telling them the mask was valuable. But the dealer only found this out after paying for a radiocarbon test that then revealed the artifact to be a rare 19th century mask used in rituals by an African secret society known as the Fang people. Now, in the United States, this case would not have seen the light of day for the simple reason that the elderly couple sold the mask, never having it appraised. Just because the dealer did his due diligence, the couple can't now come back and say they were scammed when they willingly sold it without getting it appraised or checked out. Here's the piece.
A French couple in a skirmish with an art gallery over an African mask. They let it go for $158. The auction house turned around and sold it for $4.4 million. Now the couple's suing. It's a 19th century mask from the African country of Gabon, used at weddings and funerals, but experts say the sale is most notable for how it has revealed that rich people have more money than taste. After it sold, the dealer apparently offered the couple €300,000, but they declined. Apparently, the husband got it from his grandfather, who was a colonial governor in Africa. Yikes. The gallery owner claims they didn't know what they had, but a lot of people with different opinions about what you should do with this, what moral obligation they had, if any, if none. But interesting that they offered them $300,000. The couple said no, and now they're going to sue. But I think a lot of people similar to you, Vera, said, why? They sold it.
They sold it. If they weren't educated enough to know what they were signing, then that's boo-hoo on them.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. So what do you guys think? Does this elderly couple have an argument here, or is it just sour grapes? Let me know in the comments down below. Would you have sold that mask without investigating its provenance? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Here in Florida, I love the ocean and beach, but I have always feared the man-eaters which keep me close to shore. But recently, 9 to 16 foot great whites have been showing up with huge, deep puncture marks right near the pectoral fins, and each was missing their liver. The orcas ram into the great white sharks, and the force of the blow stuns the shark just long enough, which allows the orcas to flip the great white shark on its back. Now, as you know, when upside down in the water, sharks become paralyzed because they require water to move across their gills while they swim. Thus, the orca is able to drown the great white shark. Maybe it's just me, but is going into the ocean worth the risk of life and limb? Not for me. I prefer to keep my arms and legs, thank you very much. So that's the stories for today. Hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. And please, if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button. Really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. See you later.